What comes to mind when you hear the word diet? The average person spends around 32,000 hours eating in their lifetime. Naturally, diet is one of the most important factors affecting health in the general population. It especially has a major impact on people with gastrointestinal disorders, and over 60 million Americans are diagnosed with these diseases each year. Understanding the relationship between diet and health is a crucial element of prevention and treatment. It is also an important factor in minimizing the economic burden of diet-related diseases. There is increasing interest from the general population, patients, and healthcare professionals in identifying dietary habits that could affect a person's well-being. It is important to know what diet an individual is adhering to, so healthcare professionals can identify what is associated with symptoms. Consistent and accurate measurement of dietary intake is one of the largest obstacles we face in understanding the impact of diet on well-being and disease. Current methods of diet recording heavily rely on self-reporting and recall, and are not sufficient in providing an overview of a person's diet. Our solution is called DiTrack, a simple application and scale brought together to easily record and quantify a user's food intake. This is Johnny. Johnny has been having recurring abdominal pain and bloating and went to see his doctor about it. Dr. Palmer would usually ask Johnny to complete a food frequency questionnaire or a 24-hour recall, which are labor-intensive and rely heavily on memory. DiTrack offers a better solution. Dr. Palmer told Johnny to use DiTrack for the next 2 weeks, recording his meals, snacks, and drinks each day. Beginning to use DiTrack is as simple as downloading it from the App Store, logging in, and picking up your integrated weight scale. First, Johnny has already created an account, and now he logs into the application using his username and password. Then, he goes through the instructions on how to record his food intake. Pushing Let's Get Started will navigate to the ad screen and allow you to name your meal. Then, the user will take a photo of their meal, or they can choose to upload an already existing photo. Next, you can customize the date and time that you ate the food, or it will default to the current date and time upon uploading a photo. A brief description of the meal should be provided in the next section. The user has the option to type it manually, or they can use our built-in speech recognition feature to verbally annotate their meal. We've integrated this feature to allow users to choose what they find most convenient. Push the microphone button and say, "Flaxseed toast with raspberry jam." The weight of the meal can be taken down to get a better understanding of the quantity of food eaten. The weight can either be input manually, or it can be extracted from our customized Bluetooth scale. First, place a plate on the customized scale and tare it using the button on the device. Next, add your meal to the plate and push the Bluetooth button on the application. The weight will then show up on the application and it will be added to the meal's information page. Lastly, indicate whether or not the meal is homemade. Once all of the information has been input, add it to the diary. If users are in a rush and cannot complete it all at once, they can also choose to only upload a photo and input the rest of the information on a later time. This is the diary page, which will show you all of the meals you've added. You're also able to select a specific day from the calendar and filter out all of the things that were consumed on just that day. Here, you can also click on an individual meal to edit it. By navigating to the More page, the user can return to the instructions, generate a report of their food intake, they can edit their profile, and they can also change their account password. Johnny returns to Dr. Palmer after 2 weeks of recording his diet with DiTrack, and Dr. Palmer asks him to generate the report file. Johnny generates the report on the application and sends it over to Dr. Palmer. This is the report that Dr. Palmer will see. It includes the time period of the meals, the number of meals recorded per day, and the time at which the meals were consumed. It also includes a summary of the meals with their respective information, including the estimated calories and the estimated protein per meal. Now Dr. Palmer will be able to properly diagnose Johnny's problem. So you might ask, how are we different than any other food tracking system? Solutions like the ASA24 and the food frequency questionnaire are time-consuming and memory-reliant. Other applications like MyFitnessPal and See How You Eat have a high burden on day-to-day activities and are difficult to use. DiTrack solves these problems and is the next big diet tracking app for people with gastrointestinal disorders.